In this series, we will discuss 7 of the commands Christ gave his disciples. This week, we discuss the 6th command of Jesus, the Lord's Supper. First, we need to understand the Passover was a very important day of remembrance for the descendants of the nation of Israel. It was a reminder of God's deliverance of the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. An important symbol of the Passover is the sacrificial lamb. It was the method that the firstborn children of Israel were saved. It was on this Passover day that Jesus had a special meal with his disciples. He knew what was to come, his sacrifice for all humanity. He gave his disciples very clear instructions to remember and repeat the symbolic acts he led them in. We continue this command today. It's called the Lord's Supper, the Last Supper, Communion, or the Eucharist, depending on your faith tradition. It can be conducted in different ways, with different kinds of bread, with real wine or grape juice. In some cultures, they use tea or other beverages. The importance is not in the specific methods or items used, but in remembering the meaning of the service as Christ commands. As we eat a small piece of bread, we remember that Christ freely gave his body and life for us. As we drink a small amount of grape juice, or wine or tea, we remember that Christ freely gave his essence, his blood, that seals the new covenant for us all. It is by his shed blood that we have forgiveness for our sins and reconciliation to God. As Christ commands, it is important as his disciples to gather together in community with other believers to remember the Lord's Supper. If you do not currently participate in a regular remembrance of the Lord's Supper, find a community or create one to do so. The memory verse reads, "He took some bread and gave thanks to God for it. Then he broke it in pieces and gave it to the disciples, saying, 'This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me.' After supper, he took another cup of wine and said, 'This cup is the new covenant between God and his people, an agreement confirmed with my blood, which is poured out as a sacrifice for you.'" As you reflect this week on the Lord's Supper, consider, why does Christ have us remember? Why did he create this act of remembrance for his disciples? You can always find more on our mobile application, website, Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter accounts.